Why did Aaron see the whole picture and Yaakov didn't see the whole picture? Because he fell into depression. Why did he see the whole picture? So we have to look into Aaron's background. What brought him to see the picture? Vayidom. Normally, Chas v'sholom, a parent would lose 2 children like that. So the pain and the loss is indescribable. But it says Vayidom, and he kept quiet because he saw it. Yaakov did not see it. Yaakov did not see the whole picture. Yaakov was a chariot. Why didn't he see immediately? Because Yaakov's picture already embraced another idea, that the Jews had to be in Egypt. And somehow they had to go into Egypt, they had to go through that exile to be cleansed. So the reason that he was sold was that he ultimately would bring down all the Jews into Egypt, because the future generations of the 210 years were all the same people who had lived in the time of Migdal Babel, in the time of the Tower of Babel, in the time of the flood, the great deluge. There was a purpose, but the purpose was not obvious to anybody. It's not obvious. Aaron saw, but because he had achieved a level of seeing, so he saw the whole picture at that moment. He saw, he could see. And first of all, it was simple to see because it was right there. But how did he achieve? Why did he achieve such a level? And actually, why didn't Yaakov see all that? Because unlike Yaakov, who lived a life, most of his life, he ran away from Esau. He took away his blessing, so to speak. No matter how we answer it, but he still was not the firstborn. No matter how we make every attempt to say he didn't lie, good. Yaakov didn't lie. When his father Yitzchak asked him, is that you, Esau? He said, yeah. And then he said, yeah. And we interpret the verse, but he said yes. Because his father still had in his consciousness the thought of blessing Esau. So no matter how we explain the verses over there that he didn't lie, but the fact was he was not the firstborn. He was not the firstborn. You only say, yeah, but Esau was a Rasha, he was an evil person, he wasn't entitled to the bracha. All well and good. All well and good. But he did something wrong, and Esau said he was going to kill him, so he went away. Didn't live a bad life by Laban. Didn't live a bad life after that. The first time that he actually suffered was at the time when he lost Yosef. Other than that, he didn't interact with anybody. What did Aaron do? What was Aaron's interaction? And why was he really chosen to be the high priest? It says, because he was Ohev Shalom, Verodev Shalom. He loved peace in the world. Well, why did he love peace in the world? I mean, everybody wants peace. The trouble and the difference between Aaron's Ohev Shalom, Verodev Shalom, he ran after every opportunity to bring peace into the world. And the difference with us, because to us, peace is conditional, if it's my way. If my action can bring to a disruption of shalom, no matter how right I am, but it brings in a little chaos. He went to such extent that he was rodef after that. What do you mean? He ran after it. In other words, he would run to make sure that despite how right he was, it was the shalom that he was looking for. That's why he was a Hodesh Shalom. He was looking for the peace. So because I'm right, and the other person, and it's so obvious, and everybody, the whole world says I'm right, and that person is wrong, and why is the person doing what they're doing, and so on. That never entered into Aaron's consciousness. And because of that, there was an interaction. Meaning, it's one thing for Yaakov, who was Acharey, was everything, but there was no interaction with people. Not because he didn't want to. There were no other people. Yaakov was the son of Isaac, and 12 tribes then multiplied into many, many Jews. Then later came the problem. There were more than one Jew, so you have a problem, right? But Yaakov, he was the only Jew. He had no problem. Who was he going to interact? But Aaron had Jews that he was dealing with all the time. And so he was a Hodesh Shalom. It's what we might say that self, who validates oneself? The ego. And what do you need validation? What's coming of this? Why validation? Are you achieving the purpose? Are you expressing yourself in a way that there is shalom? Or you're looking, what's right in the world? What's right for me? And if I'm right and if I'm wrong, and so on. That level of pursuit of Aaron, beside bringing him to the point of where he would now be the chosen one for the high priesthood, the Kohen Gadol, it enabled him because the word shalom was connected with what the universe is about. Universe is in shleimut. Universe is in harmony with each other. The universe we see around us, unfortunately, is not in harmony. But he elevated himself and saw that 99% or the 100% of the real universe is shalom. It's kind to everybody. Always had a smile. Like, these are all the attributes that are stated concerning Aaron. Because he had this interaction with other Jews, and certainly they weren't very helpful, and they weren't very complimentary, and they weren't without criticism of Aaron. But nevertheless, he could only see one idea. He could only see one idea, the shleimut. He could see in every Jew that part that was part of everything. Yes, the physical reality and the activity of people were not so in line with or having an affinity with the soul. But the soul, the whole world is one soul. The whole world is one. And that gave him the opportunity to see. So then what? Now his two sons didn't die. Yes, they were not there on a physical level, and he wasn't looking that they disappeared, because for him, the pain was that now these two sons could not serve and help because of their level of consciousness of where they had been and where they were, and now that was not available. So he saw the loss not so much in himself, because he didn't see no loss in himself at all. He knew about immortality, what we're talking about. He knew all that. But because his whole life had been one of an adventure into shalom, into shleimut, and therefore he was permitted to see the whole of the world, of the universe, in that shleimut. And therefore, when it came time for him to serve, why would he be depressed? The two sons were not for him. Two sons were not for him. For whatever reason, for justified reason, it was not it was not a venture that he went into in trying to explain it away, why it happened, and so on. He explained it. It happened because in the cosmos he had created some form of negativity, and that negativity now came back and asked for payment due. It's like everything we do every day. There's always a payment due. The only trouble with that payment due, that was if you're not working the way you should. They were lazy, well, someone else will do it. And we're living the life of comfortability, not to commit too many problems to come and so on. The problem with that is that the payment due, the note that comes due, can be 20 years later, 50 years later. That was given to Satan, who was given permission to say, someone just stole, it's against the cardinal rule of the universe, you can't steal. Lechem b'zayon, you're taking away something from somebody, and you're not paying for it. So, when someone steals, so why doesn't his hand fall off? No, because we live in this world whereby payment due can be, as I said, 10 years later, 30 years later, but nobody escapes. But Satan makes sure that we will never think about it again. And even when the note comes due and there is no payment, he'll exact flesh. He'll exact the payment because he's entitled to the payment. We may not even connect the payment due to some negative activity that we had done. So the lesson is obvious. If all you can think about is what Aaron did, is looking not only to see the shleimut of the universe, the wholeness of the universe, the unity of the universe, but he was also a Hodesh Shalom. He ran after to make sure that's supposedly what we are in here for. That's why you joined the Senate. If you didn't join the Senate for that reason, hopefully one day you'll achieve that. To understand that we have to be like Aaron if we ever want to achieve simcha. It cannot be simcha. He'll throw you a bone, Satan, make you feel good today. I got this, I got that. I got revenge. I did that back to this person because of this. Never can that person be in a state of shleimut, of simcha. Shleimut, seeing the whole universe as one, meaning you are part of that one and everybody else is part of that one, as Aaron did, is the only way that you can achieve real simcha. But if we're into our own little games, no matter how not unimportant, but no matter how it doesn't really affect negatively somebody else, right? So we're saying already, so what's wrong? So the person is playing little games, doing all little things that he should be recognized. He wants to feed a little his ego, and he's not hurting anybody by it. That's not enough. Yes, at least you're not a person that's doing harm to others, but you're not a Hodesh Shalom. You're not making an attempt, and this is what the center is supposed to be doing, and giving an opportunity for everybody close to the light. Not only you're close to the light, you're working with the light, but are we all really feeling the presence of the light? Are we feeling the presence of the light? Or we work for the light? So we're doing the light maybe even a favor. We're trying to spread the word of the light. We're doing the world a favor. You're not doing anybody a favor. The bottom line, we're doing nobody a favor. And we're not certainly not doing God a favor. It's only us that will ultimately benefit and have the simcha that we all would like. Hodesh Tov.